I think that the biggest question based within the Star Wars sequel trilogy has all to do with exactly who Rey's parents really are and what place they have in this world and in the Star Wars universe. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, we do know that J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio will be giving Rey a very important lineage in this movie, and will be changing certain elements of the character, and that Rey's parents will have an important part in this story that will reflect on all 8 saga movies. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art, and storyboard descriptions, etc. However, this is where things begin to get very interesting for the actual story, is that it's described that within the third act of the film, one of the major revelations will have all to do with Rey's parents that will involve the characters of Luke and Kylo Ren. It's described that this revelation was a part in Colin Trevorrow's script that was revived in JJ's. Parts of Colin's script had to do with Rey's parents, and is said that Daisy already shot a scene for it that is to be involved her crying, and is said to be one of the most emotional scenes in the Skywalker saga. It's implied this is the same scene in which it made Daisy Ridley cry while reading the original script. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this that are really piquing my interest for this movie, and is really making me very curious about this big revelation involving Rey's parents in Episode 9. So first things first, okay, we do know that the revelation will be connected to both Kylo Ren and, of course, Luke Skywalker when it all comes down to Rey's parents. Now, of course, that's not saying that Kylo Ren and Luke are her parents, but this is basically saying that Luke and Kylo Ren will be attached to the revelation of Rey's parents. Kind of similar to what we saw in the original trilogy, with Obi-Wan Kenobi delivering the truth to Luke Skywalker about his father, and pretty much giving him reassurance that yes, Darth Vader is your father, and he gave him details about his father even all the more, and lightly told him that Leia is indeed his sister. You know, it's kind of like also saying how Darth Vader was the one that revealed the truth to, Luke Skywalker, that he himself is his father. So, Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, now Luke and Kylo Ren in Episode 9, being a part of the revelation of Rey's parents in, of course, Episode 9. So that's really raising a lot of questions on if Rey is going to be a Skywalker, or maybe it could have something to do with Luke Skywalker revealing the truth to Rey, or vice versa. Maybe Kylo Ren reveals the truth to her when she basically finds out that Kylo Ren was lying to her, just as an example there. Now, this is where things begin to get very creative. Now, parts of Colin Trevorrow's script were actually transferred over into JJ's, and one of the big parts of the third act of the movie in Colin's original script had all to do with Rey's parents. Now, that exact sequence was transferred on over into Episode 9, and Daisy Ridley had actually already shot a sequence for this big revelation, where she was instructed to actually cry and create a very emotional scene, and it's described to be one of the most emotional scenes in the Skywalker saga. So, if it really is going to be the most emotional scene in the Skywalker saga, what could this really mean? Could she be attached to the Skywalkers, or maybe even Kenobi, or is it something more that's going to have saga-wide implications? Now, I would like to believe that she's attached to one of the known characters that we are already connected with, such as Luke, Obi-Wan, or maybe even Emperor Palpatine for all we know. I think that going down that route is probably a better way in order to pretty much tell us as to why Rey is such a powerful figure within the Star Wars universe. And not only that, Star Wars is all about family, right? It's all about the family tree, the actual bloodline, and the, generations being passed down to other generations. That's what I want to see actually stay alive, even if it's put in a position in the ending where it's pretty much unknown as to what's to come in the future. So if they could go that route, I think that's probably the best way to do so. So, like I say, the fact that parts of Colin Trevorrow's script were transferred over into JJ's, I think that's honestly quite amazing that JJ allowed that and is actually incorporating that into his own movie. I honestly felt very bad for Colin Trevorrow when he was fired by Disney, Kathleen Kennedy, and Lucasfilm, because he had already had a whole entire script for the movie. He was done, right? And then he was fired. They had to rewrite the entire thing. JJ took over, wrote his script, and even JJ had to write, rewrite parts of his script even after it was finished. And parts of those rewrites had all to do with pretty much salvaging parts of Colin Trevorrow's script in episode 9. So this part of the ending that has all to do with Rey's parents, like I say, I think that the highlights are that it will involve both Luke and Kylo Ren, most likely delivering the truth or giving their point of view on everything that's being delivered to Rey. And of course the fact that parts of Colin's script had to do with Rey's parents and her lineage and exactly who they really are. And that's actually being transferred over into JJ's version of the script, and that this is considered the most emotional scene in the Skywalker saga, most emotional moment, if you will. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.